What's up, guys? So today we're talking about the lefty challenge. I am right-handed, as is most people. However, over the years I've talked to lots and lots of lefties out there that just absolutely love knives. And unfortunately, for some models, they just have a hard time using them. All right, they're not lefty friendly. Now, recently someone commented about the Leatherman Wave, and they said for me to try to open it lefty with one hand. Now, I've actually tried things like this before just because, I don't know, occasionally I'll see someone who has a disability and I'll think to myself, well, what if I ever lost my right hand? How would I live my life? And I think about different things like that, you know, how to use my left hand for things that I'm normally using my right hand for. Now, when it comes to knives, you can get creative, all right? In this particular case, these blades are accessible from the outside of the multi-tool, all right? So you can open them and close them right-handed. There is a liner lock of sorts, so you push down with your thumb. It's very natural for a righty, all right, to push that down. Now, if I were to use this blade lefty, obviously I can't do it like this. I have to flip it over. I'd have to use, what's comfortable for me anyway, is my middle finger, all right? So I'd start with my middle finger, come over with my thumb to open it. All right, so as far as disengaging the lock, instead of using my thumb, I use my pointer finger, all right? Or in this case, I would use my middle finger so that I can use my pointer finger to close the blade. So using this particular tool left-handed would be just like that. I can open it, I can use it lefty. It definitely feels awkward to me. It definitely feels weird and different. I can flip it over so I can access the fully serrated blade. Same deal. Disengage with my middle finger and manipulate it with my other fingers. So like naturally as people, if you tied your right hand behind your back and you're righty, you would figure out a way to use these tools. But it definitely feels awkward. It's definitely something I would have to practice a lot more. Now, this really got me thinking of knives that are really unfriendly for lefties. And when I was trying to find different examples of knives to make this video, I just grabbed these randomly. I discovered that a lot of modern knives are friendly for lefties as well as righties because they become ambidextrous. Back in the day of when I first got into knives, it was very common to see something like this. This is a K-bar Dozier folder. And it has a single thumb stud for a righty. So for the lefties, what are you supposed to do? Now in this particular case, I'm sure you can unscrew this and swap it to the other side if you wanted to, but it's very common to see, you know, ambidextrous thumb studs, double thumb studs for both righty usage as well as lefty usage. All right, just like in the case of this Gerber as well. So in this case, very righty friendly, very ambidextrous lock, having a lock back, okay, whether it's on the bottom of the knife or the middle of the knife, doesn't matter, because it's not going to be specific for righty or lefty, so that automatically becomes an ambidextrous feature. However, using just the thumb stud, similar to that, using my middle finger, all right, so I can get that started, and then maybe use my thumb on the blade to open it. So that's how I would use this knife lefty. It's uncomfortable. It's not as, you know, lefty friendly. Now, you might just get used to that. Something else that I was thinking about would be frame locks. All right, now, in this case, this is a flipper. And as we all know, flippers are also ambidextrous, very friendly to lefties. However, something like liner locks and frame locks could be a little interesting for left-handed users. Probably used to using your thumb to pull up on the blade. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but think about it. If you're righty, you're just so used to naturally pushing down, right? You open the knife, you go to unlock it, you push downwards. Lefties don't do that. They have to pull up. It's definitely a more awkward position, okay? Even if they're used to it. Now, in some cases, you can get higher end knives, like a Chris Reeve Sebenza, for example, and they're specifically made for lefties if you want. You can get a lefty model that has a frame lock that is dedicated for a lefty so that when you open it, the frame is on the other side and you can push down. Now, it is unfortunate if you happen to be a fan of something like a frame lock, you really just don't see you know, cheaper or more affordable, let's say sub $100 frame locks that are lefty specific. I just don't see it. If you guys know of any, post them down in the comments for all the lefties watching. But yeah, I mean, it's just something I've noticed is that there's a lot of features, like on this Gerber Easy Out, we have a skeletonized frame, all right? So like Spyderco's opening hole, it's ambidextrous, right? In this case, it's a lockback. So you can use this right-handed or left-handed pretty much in the same fashion. All right, so it's just as comfortable either way. But the point of the video really is for all the righties out there to grab your knife, maybe your EDC, maybe go into your collection and start handling different knives with your left hand only. No more right hand. So the challenge is to go and see if you can open and manipulate all of your knives with just your left hand. That would be the left-handed challenge. All right, in this case, that's super weird. All right, flipper, no big deal. And of course, back to the Leatherman, the lefty challenge. It just gives you, a little understanding of what lefties might have to deal with. Now, of course, a lefty, it's more natural to use their left hand, and they can manipulate things, and they figure it out just fine. But if you are righty, and you lost your right hand in some kind of accident or something, you never know. Things happen. What are you gonna do? So you might want to think about that and start practicing some different stuff. Not just opening your knives, I mean day-to-day tasks. It'll probably feel weird at first, but it might be nice to kind of practice that kind of thing so that, God forbid, something happens, you might be a little bit more prepared. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. Just a little love and acknowledgement for the lefties out there, both guys and gals. I've talked to women who are into knives that were lefty as well, and that's usually the question is, hey, I'm looking for a knife. It's got to be lefty friendly. What's good for lefties? And luckily today, there's a lot more options. So if you are lefty, down in the comment section, let everyone know what knives you like that are very friendly to use. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.